All right, so you have an assignment to do while you're doing this debate. If I don't get this completed from you, I'm going to suspend you from the site for 2 days. So make sure you get the sheet. Make sure I get it from you when we leave. Okay? I need a sheet from you with your name on it. If I don't get it, then I'm just going to suspend whoever I don't have. Okay. Everyone in the audience, you have to listen carefully. Listen carefully. We're live. We're live right now, so if you can keep the noise down, that'd be greatly appreciated before we get started with the debate. Okay. All right. So this sheet is for your team. This sheet is for your team. 10th grade is for the 10th grade team. 11th grade for the 11th grade team. All right. You're going to grade their performance because you have a vested interest in their improvement. So we want to see if we can help them improve. So that means I want you to make comments as well as give them points. Okay? So your comments are greatly appreciated. They will take it to heart and do what they can do to improve their performance. Okay, we would like to thank you for joining us for our great debate. 10th grade against 11th grade. We apologize for the delay. We were supposed to start at 11, but unfortunately we're starting at 11:15. That's okay. It'll be well worth the wait once we begin, which will be in about 40 minutes. Today's debate is, the issue is resource officers. Resource officers in school, police officers who have taken the position of being the ultimate disciplinarians in school, and each debate team, each grade has taken a position on this issue, so we're going to hear what they have to say and so forth. So, debate teams, take the podium. Debate teams, please take the podium this time. Okay, so let's make this clear. The 10th grade has decided on the negative position in this debate, and the 11th grade has decided on the positive position in this debate. So we're going to hear the reasons why each side has decided this position. And of course, as always, we are going to begin with the positive side, which in this case is the 11th grade, and they will begin the debate today. 11th grade.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, thank you guys for attending our debate. First of all, I'm going today's issue is whether the school resource officers should be in school or not. And we're going to represent the positive side. Okay, so the main point of having a resource officer in schools is to allow the students to be less afraid of crime in schools and trust the police more, and it has in fact done so. Here is a quote from the research findings of the National Assessment of School Resource Officer Programs. Among those respondents who were willing to give an opinion about whether the school resource officer programs have increased trust in the police, all felt it has done so. These studies show us that the point of implementing police officers were not meant to induce fear in students, but to relieve them of that fear. The fear that they are vulnerable to any attacker, to any bully, or even by a teacher. They will always know that the school resource officers have their back. That's it.
Okay, so now we are going to hear from the negative position coming from the 10th grade.
Okay, so hello everyone. Today I'm the representative of the 10th grade, and the question that has been asked is, would it be better having police officers or no in schools? They're also known as the SRO. Okay, so our claim is that it's better having police officers, which are also known as the SRO in schools, because of the reasons that I'll encounter right now. Okay, so the first reason is that a school with SRO has more poverty and larger percentage of ethnic minority students, and this is due to the cost. So according to the FBI law enforcement bulletin, that each officer costs $80,000. So 27 SROs, 3 supervisors, and 1 office manager costs about 2.4 million. So this leads to school poverty. Also, there are some schools that do not really need officers, so they just sit in their desks, and therefore the school is wasting so much money on them. The second reason, as shown in the video, the officer acts violent to the girl. He puts a disc in order to arrest her, and this way the student can get injured. Therefore, this is violent, and we say no to violence.
Okay, all right, so now we are going to go to the 2-minute cross-examination, cross-inspection of the information provided by the teams. I think we're going to begin with the positive side, 11th grade.
Okay, so I'm still in my position because it is a positive side because, it gives, they have always their back. They can't like be sitting like this. They let the students be less afraid of crime in schools, and also they are trusting the police that we're not doing anything. It's a fact that the research findings of the National Assessment of School Resource Officers said that they are willing to give an opinion about whether they are increased trust in police, and they all felt that it is done. It's being did. But these studies show us that the point is to induce fear in students and to relieve them from that fear.
Okay, so now we're going to hear from the 10th grade team. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'm still on my position, the negative. Since, according to the case studies of 19 school resource officer SRO programs, this is the book, that a school is our second home, and I would not like to find cops waiting for me to make any mistake. The school members are my brothers, my sisters, and the teacher represents our parents. So if I fight with my sister, I would like my parents to be there to solve the problem instead of the cops. Also, according to the law enforcement, page 176, students feel more confident when they're talking to the school principal, rather, and they see him not threatening, rather than speaking to a cop or they're going to get arrested. So therefore, they speak to the principal more openly, and they can tell him about the problems. Thank you.
Okay, that's going to conclude round one. Now each team representative will go back to their teams and prepare for round two. You have 3 minutes. Okay. Let me get the debate team back to the podium. Audience, please come back to order. Audience, come back to order, please. Okay, so we are back. We are in round two. In round two, of course, each side will have an opportunity to rebut the position and argument of the opposing side. As always, we will begin with the positive side, which is, of course, 11th grade team, 11th grade, maybe.
Okay, to start off, school resource officers, the whole point of them was to enforce and keep the school secure. Now, why would you want to keep the school secure? Well, it's basically because schools are like gems for murderers and people who just want to get famous off of disgusting acts of violence, such as the 1999 Columbine shooting, or the more recent Sandy Hook Elementary shooting, plus many more unmentioned schools. And don't put up the argument that, it's going to be a negative effect on the students and they're going to grow up to be rebels and hate the police. Because from an article from Eric Jackson's article about the police, SRO, and student perception of the police and offending, I quote, had no significant impact on students' perception of the police in general, end quote. The only reasons murderers are able to get in these kind of schools and these kind of situations where they can hurt many people and their families is because there's no protection in schools. And all the hype about the SRO officers being violent is because of the media. The media is an entertainment system. It's not meant for truthfulness or for honesty. It's meant to make the hottest topic even hotter so their news can sell and ad revenues can flow in. Thank you.
Okay, we heard from the 11th grade team. Now we're going to hear from the 10th grade team. They have a position. 10th grade.
All right. As said in law enforcement, page 174, we are so small here. A lot of what goes on in the street comes out in school the next day. So obviously we are like family. So please don't tell me that if police officers are here in school, we will act like less fear. We will have less fear. We won't be afraid of something. Because if my parents are in front of me and my brothers and sisters are beside me, I won't even need any cop to be beside me. Plus, if I want to spot with anyone, I would like my parents to be a judge instead of a policeman. And as the grade 11 representative said, they will have less fear. Well, I don't think so, because I said in page 176, the senior principal told the officer that they will be here in break for him to be in contact with his students. Actually, the students were waiting for this because they will have less fear. They can tell him more things, and they won't be afraid from him because they think that he is less threatening than the police officers. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to give each side 2 minutes to cross-examine the information of the opposing team. We're going to start with the positive side. 11th grade.
Cross-examining your reference about them being more fearful towards the police was mainly because the only reason you'd be afraid of a police officer was if you did something wrong, because the reason they're put there was to protect you. And the reason you might be afraid is because of media manipulation. The media manipulating you to thinking that they're bad and they're corrupt, while the real reason they're there is to protect you from people that are corrupt. Now, studies show from the same study of Eric Jackson's article that schools with SRO officers tend to have less violent activities because people make more of a calculated decision before they think to commit a violent act, because they know that if they commit a violent act, there is someone there to hold them responsible for their acts. And that's exactly what we need. Why would anyone not want to have their children protected? Where is the point of that? Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we need from the 10th grade, cross reference.
All right. Sir, I didn't say that I didn't want them to be protected, but if there's fear, there's gonna be an action, violence. If fear comes, violence comes. To be honest, if I'm a father, I wouldn't like my son to go to school if there's cops over there. And I know if he had a fight or was dragged into a fight with anybody, I would go get him from the police station. No, I would like him to stay, have a talk with the principal instead of having a talk with the police officer. In jail, maybe I must fight him one day in jail, and the other guy might also be in jail, while actually one of them must be in jail and the other must be outside. But the police, I don't think anyone can identify which one has started the fight. Well, both of them will go to jail. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes round 2. We're going to have the representatives from both groups to go back to their tables. Last round, third round, coming up 3 minutes. One minute, 20 seconds. Okay, all right. We're about to begin round 3. Debate team back to the podium. Audience, please come to order. Audience, come to order. Audience, please come to order, please. Audience, please come to order. Okay, this is the third and final round. Each side will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to make any last comments and state their position, or anything else they decide to do. It is up to them. As always, we're going to begin with the positive side. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. 11-3.
Okay. Resource officers should be enforced in school because They are there to keep the children safe and to make sure no criminal acts be performed at school districts. So, if there are any problems in school or any fights or something wrong like drugs, alcohol, anything, the officers should be there to react with this issue or this problem.
Okay, all right, so now we're gonna hear from the negative side, 10th grade.
Okay, so we have talked about how they prevent violence. Well, they are violence itself. So they lead to violence because they cause violence in school. And the school will have disorder. And in schools, we should be comfortable and not feel like there's violence going to happen to us. Instead, we should solve our problems.
Okay, all right, so it looks like we have come to the end of our debate. Audience, please give a round of applause to the 10th grade and 11th grade teams. Okay, thank you for participating with us in our first great debate. Hopefully we have more. Once again, we apologize for the delay. Thank you.